What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. I am finally back in the garage after about 2 days of full rest. If you guys haven't seen the last video, the homie Bronson brought over his non-VTEC B series turbo EK hatchback, and we did a bunch of things to it. We did the fuel system, we did the VTEC head conversion, the exhaust system, we did the transmission swap, and just a lot of miscellaneous cleanups. But we were trying to get all that done in one day because it came in the morning. But man, after a couple of things we need to address and some stuff that fought us along the way, we actually rolled over into the next morning. Let me tell you guys, I have not been up working on cars throughout the morning like that in a very long time. And that took a toll on me. I was up for about 26 hours, and after the homie Bronson left, I slept for about 4 hours before being woken up to go to dinner for my mom's birthday. I came back into the garage to clean up a lot of the mess that I made, and I tried to get some more shut-eye, but only sleeping for about 3 hours and waking up in the middle of the night trying to edit the video I was trying to push out for Monday. You guys may have noticed I missed a Monday upload, and I just couldn't do it. My body was just way too tired. So when I finally crashed again, I slept for about 12 hours. 12 hours, felt great waking up, but I didn't come into the garage. I actually tried to edit that video, which I did, and half of another one to kind of get ahead a little bit, and now we are back in the garage. My 88 sedan is back here on the driveway, and I want to put some more work into it. Like I told you guys before, I want to work from the firewall forward so I don't have to crawl around the engine to work on anything on the firewall itself. What's missing on the firewall is the brake booster, master, all the brake lines, and the prop valve. So I want to address that today. I've covered it plenty of times before, the recent one in my blue all-wheel drive sedan. So I'm probably going to throw you guys up on the laps and just get cracking. Get cracking on it. Get it knocked out of the way. I'm not going to bleed the brakes because I haven't really figured out what I'm going to do with the front brake setup and the rear yet. So that's going to be safe for a later day. But today, the brake stuff on the firewall, I want to knock that out. Let's get to work. I'm going to get this car up on jack stands to elevate it a little bit so I'm not like bending over to work with the brake lines because it is down low, you know, above the subframe. And I'm going to show you guys how easy it is to take apart my lower radius support with the new intercooler and radiator combo. Easy peasy, right? Heck yeah. I'm gonna start off with the brake booster because this thing has been oversprayed by the last owner. Yes, it has a bunch of rust on it, probably from a leaky seal. Now, a brake booster doesn't often go bad, and I'll find out if this thing is good or bad once I put it into the car. There is a way you can test it with a pressure gauge thingamabob. I gotta look at my manual to see how to do it, but I am on a super duper tight budget with this car, especially because I'm really trying to use the money towards my other cars that needs to be done. Who am I kidding? Most of my cars are done. KRX is done. All-wheel drive blue car is done. Wagon is done. And the JDM EF2 just needs an engine, but I think we're kind of shifting plans with this a little bit, but I'll talk more about it later. Realistically, I'm just on a super tight budget. I don't think this car had a brake booster issue because if it did, the last owner would have swapped it out. So all I'm gonna do right here is I'm just gonna sand this thing completely down, and I'm gonna give it a nice coat of paint, and I'm gonna throw this one back into the car. This thing cleaned up really well. I DA'd the entire booster, and then I used a wire wheel on the inside, and then I sprayed this entire thing down with degreaser to give it a nice scrub and rinsed it off. I'm gonna let it dry for a little bit. We'll put some primer on, and then we're gonna paint it black. Unfortunately, I don't have any more semi-gloss black, or flat black, so I'm just going to use trim paint. I didn't really show you guys this. I did it about a week and a half ago. Cleaned up the cowl, got the cowl all painted up with this trim black, and I got all the seals and everything reinstalled. Looking really good. I think the booster being this color is not gonna look too far off from what OEM is, because OEM is like a semi-gloss black, little gloss to it. You can kind of see it right here in the bottom, but flat black, I don't think it'll bother me that much. One light coat at a time. Man, this thing looks good, doesn't it? A little bit of elbow grease can turn an old part looking brand used. Let's get this thing installed. Can't forget this guy. A little gasket goes on the back side. And I am going to install this upside down to kind of tuck the brake booster line a little bit. And the bolt pattern for the brake master should still be the same. So this thing's set like this. We're going to flip it this way. Make sure this is pointed in the correct direction. Brake booster installed into the firewall and the pedal assembly with the 412 mil. The brake pedal assembly itself does have the pin with a brand new cotter pin on it. I'm going to peel this thing back because, you know, we do have the brake booster upright, so I kind of want to show off that badge right there. Master power, if you know, you know. So the old brake line is right here that we're going to reuse. The prop valve we're going to reuse. It doesn't show any signs of leaks whatsoever. It doesn't leak out of the seat hole, so that's good. This whole entire section is going to get rebent because we're going to relocate the prop valve due to being K-series. This guy we're going to change out for sure because I don't know the condition of it, and I don't want to waste time to throw it on, bleed it out, and then it just doesn't work. One of you guys sent to the PO box a little while ago 2 brand new brake master cylinder for the EF chassis. It's up here somewhere. I'm pretty sure it's in that box right there, so I'm gonna go ahead and dig that out, find the cleaner one of the 2, and replace the one that's currently attached to the brake lines. Look at that, brand spanking new. This one as well too. I don't know, might be used, might be new, I don't know, but it definitely is an aftermarket unit with a new reservoir. You can tell by the cap and the plugs right here, that neon color. They're practically the same, but this one looks like it might have been installed because that's all that residual from the brake fluid. I'm probably just gonna throw this one on. We're not gonna bench bleed it right now. We're just gonna run it dry just to kind of prop it all into place. All right guys, so the prop valve, new location, brake lines all bent into place. Now I'm not crazy about having like perfect brake lines. My thing is just functionality, and this is going to work perfectly fine. So I only had to reflare the 2 rear lines because they were ultra long. On my EF sedan, the blue one, I relocated the prop valve on the firewall, but I had to remove the bracket and flip it around so that way the orientation is the same, and I was able to use the length of the rear lines to go into its slot, right? But I was like, man, I'm not trying to, you know, rebend, reflare all these lines because they ended up being a lot longer, obviously. So I was like, went to go check my blue car to see where the valve cover and VTEC solenoid sits, and it actually sits like right here on this bolt, and the solenoid is somewhere right here along the 10 mil hole that I use for the ground. Usually it's this one right here. So that means I'll have plenty of clearance with the brake lines if I just mounted the prop valve right there. So that's where it's going to sit. All the lines are bent into place. Looks a little wonky, but will work like it should. Reflared the 2 lines in the back. I had to cut down about 2 inches on both, and they are somewhat threaded in about halfway, not fully, because I'm going to take all this back out. I'm going to clean all the overspray all the way to the other side, and also these guys back here. I'm also going to take off the prop valve to cut off this bracket right here in the back, because I don't want it to look like there's supposed to be something there, but there's not. So I'm going to trim all that back and just have it mounted on this 110 mil, and with all the lines into place, this thing is really not going to move that much. So I'm going to do that quick. I mentioned earlier I don't have any black rattle can, so I just rubberized undercoated it instead. And you know what? It looks good. It looks really good. So I went driving around this afternoon, and I went to the P.O. box. I got one package right here, will open later. Went to Home Depot to grab some spray paint. These are the quick color that I normally get from Home Depot. That's really cheap. I believe it's like $2.50, somewhere around there, under $3. Quick color. I got it in flat black and gloss black for the quick spray. These dry really freaking fast because it says it right there on the can. And I also got high temp black for anything that's like around the engine or whatever, although the quick color stuff works fine, but you know, we don't want like flaking to happen right away. So the brake lines, I reinstalled them all back together. I actually got a little confused on where the brake lines go because I took it all apart last night, but we painted it 3M rubberized undercoating, got it all reinstalled, cleaned the bracket. The only one that's not on here right now is the one right there, which I don't think we'll need because these 2 right here is already holding the brake lines in place. Prop valve installed, 2 back lines installed, and the brake line is done and out of the way. It's not secured to the brake lines in the wheel tub because they have the rubberized hose on it, and I'm probably going to switch out to stainless steel when we address the brake stuff, but that's all done and out of the way. I figured because I was working in that general area, I do want to put the wiper motor back in, because if I have a chance to keep it, I'll keep it. And this car did come with it, although it was freaking oversprayed right here. So I am going to clean this up a little bit. It's going to be pretty hard because this entire thing is oversprayed, but I'm going to try to clean it up, give it a nice coat of black and whatever's supposed to be silver back to silver, and also the starter as well too, which is this guy right here. Ooh, man, this new Harbor Freight wire wheel right here definitely does the work. All of that overspray that we had on the body, and why is my screen shaking? I don't know. Windshield wiper motor has been knocked off, except all the areas that I can't get into, but those are the areas you're not going to see. As far as the front side goes, this thing is back to the raw aluminum / metal, and all that overspray on here is back to black. I'm going to take this off. It's 2 Phillips screw. Take it off, spray it black, and then the body itself, probably just going to paint it cast aluminum. The aluminum itself, I'm not worried about rusting, but the steel is down to the bare, and I want paint on that just so that we don't have rust forming later down the road. And I will say, I did chop up the wires right there, so I'm going to have to repair it before I put it back into the car. My bad, I thought the camera was rolling. But cast aluminum, we got about 2 layers on here, looking good. Windshield wiper motor looking brand freaking used. Got the cap put back on, got all the grommets cleaned up from all the overspray, got the body painted cast aluminum. The overspray that was on the blue sleeving, I just went ahead and electrical taped it just so that, you know, if you spray the sleeving, it'll eventually crack and flake over time. So the electrical tape is the better option to give it a cleaner look. Wiper motor installed with the 410 mil, 1, 2, 3 and 4 plugged up, ready to rock and roll. Now I'm going to address the starter. I'm not going to paint the body cast aluminum, just the rusted area. I'm going to clean up and paint all of the center back to black. You guys voted on Instagram to keep the long block and the transmission raw aluminum, so that's what we're going to do. I don't want to paint the starter because it's going to be the newest looking thing on here. So I'm going to go ahead and take the starter apart and clean up that rust and give it a nice coat of black, and then we'll get this thing put back into the long block just so that we're not kicking it around on the floor. All right, guys, so I've been debating on removing the subframe now that the car is back here on the driveway. The subframe was supposed to go with my buddy last week to get powder coated, but I needed the car to still be movable for Bronson's EK to come in. I was gonna take it apart right now, but I was like, I need to clean my garage a little bit before I start putting all the suspension component in the garage. It's too clustered up right now, so I'm not gonna do it. I think the firewall side is done for the most part. I was looking for that grommet, can't find it. Throttle cable, I don't know where it's at. I'm probably gonna have to find one in the storage unit. We got the booster refreshened up, put back in, a brand new master cylinder. The brake lines all bent into place with the relocation of the prop valve. The lines aren't fully in place because this has to come back off to get bench bled, but the brake lines, prop valve done for the most part. We did the wiper motor refresh, put that back on. We did the starter refresh, we put that so-and-so on the engine. The subframe is probably the last thing back here that we need to take off, clean up, and you know, get all the new suspension components before we reinstall it, right? Not much more I can do right now other than a bunch of little things that I'm not going to show you guys. But before I wrap it up for this video, I kind of want to attempt to do a compression test on the engine while it's still on the stand. Why? Because the flywheel is still on here, and I just put the starter back on, so technically I can use the battery to ground the engine positive to the starter and then positive to the signal on a switch, so I can press it to get the engine to crank until we read the compression, right? I think it'll work on here. I think it'll be safe enough. Everything is secure, so the engine's not gonna go flapping off. I think that's what I'm gonna do before I wrap up this video. There are spark plugs in here, so that's good. Cylinder 1, just under 180. It's probably 179, but let's call that 180. All right, number 2. Oh, that's not good. That is about 155. It gets lower and lower. This is the third time. It's at 120. The compression tester is probably leaking, because look, I can still spin this thing in a circle and it doesn't do anything. So this thing has seen better days. Number 3. We're sitting at about 165. That's way off compared to cylinder number 1. 165, and we're just running off a battery. I don't know if it's charged, but I mean, that was some pretty decent crank. 165. All right, number 4. Here we go. $175. So we have 180, 150-ish, 165, and 175. What an inconsistency. That's crazy. Look, it's already bleeding off. So I don't know if this tester is accurate, but I want to do something about this guy here and see if we can bump that number up, because it just kept going down again every time we would test it. Cylinder number 2 reads just about 170, and I didn't really change anything. I just stuck it back in and read it a little higher. So I mean, a lot of this will probably read a little bit better when I do the valve lash, because I don't know where it's currently set at. And just to check where the timing's at, might have a stretch chain or something. Maybe a valve is staying open, I don't know. I could put oil in there to see if the rings might be an issue, but apparently this came out of a low mileage RS6, and it was a perfectly running car that came from an auction, and that's why they decided to pull everything out and put it in here, but obviously never finished it. The numbers are pretty close, not close enough, but it has compression at the end of the day. It has compression. And the battery, I'm probably drained it or something. So I'm gonna have to put that on the charger. I'm gonna clean up, and I think we're gonna wrap it up for this video. So it's good to know that the starter is working, so we don't have to get another one, because when the PRB manifold goes on and the radiator goes into place, that starter is gonna be hard to reach. The good thing about the PRB manifold is that you can remove the manifold without draining the cooling system if needed be, because the K20 cylinder head has a separate coolant adapter on the side of the head, opposed to like the K20Z3 or the K24 engines. Hopefully in the next day or so I can order all the parts for the engine as well as the carpet, so we can get all the interior put back into the car. I sold one of my spare K20 6-speed transmission, the 0506, which has the CSS speed sensor in the front. I don't really like using it because it's such a hassle to get it all work with your speedo setup, and the 0204 is much simpler. So now we have some funds to maintenance the engine and get the rest of the stuff to button up the interior of the car, as well as buy all the new suspension components that we're going to be changing out on the car as well. I did get a package from the PO box, and I noticed that this came from Avant Road Pro covers. If you guys don't remember, the H2B CRX in the storage unit is rocking the blue Avant CRX specific indoor cover, and that thing, dude, I was at the storage unit like 2 days ago, and that thing is still super silky smooth as butter, the car and the pro cover. So this was sent over from them. Have no idea what this is. Let's go ahead and open up and see what's inside. Always remember to cut away from yourself, not toward yourself. First and foremost, almost cut the note, but it says, we're excited to share a small but thoughtful addition to your Avant Road experience, your new matching keychain. Match them to the zipper of your storage bag to your keys, or remove the chain and use the magnetic strip to turn them into a magnet. These weren't included in the past, but we didn't want you to miss out now that they're a part of our cover orders. It's our token of appreciation for picking Avant Road for your cover. Thank you for choosing us. Ooh, that sounds pretty cool. Oh man, there's a bunch of them in here. Oh wow, that is sick. Oh, these are freaking sick. Oh, they gave me the whole freaking collection, dude. Oh man, Oh man, and you know what? Where is it at? Did I see it? It's this one. This one right here, guys. Check this one. I want to show you this one first. This one's pretty sick. The H2B CRX is gonna go to a new home here soon, guys. Trust me, it's gonna happen. Please give me some more time to really thoroughly think everything out, because I am new to all of this. If you guys know, you guys know. But I'm trying to get this thing out of the way. I want to show you guys this keychain. Definitely gonna go with the H2B CRX because it is a white CRX keychain. Check it out. Here we go. We have a white CRX right there. We have a this one's upside down. This is a white Mugen CRX. Holy cow, I'm definitely keeping this one. We have a yellow, I'm pretty sure it's a spoon themed EG6, so EG hatchback right there. Pretty cool. We have white EK hatchback right there. We have a Midori probably on some MF8s. Midori EK hatchback right there. We have red EG hatch right there. We have another white EK, white EF hatch. Oof, this one's clean. It's got the J front, the charge peak wing and everything. Dude, this thing looks so cool. And then we have a red EF hatchback right there. Avant Pro covers. I truly appreciate y'all. I'll put the link in the description below, guys. If you park your car indoor and you guys want your paint to stay silky smooth, this pro cover is the one you would want. I'm pretty sure they're working on an outdoor cover, and I hope they do, because all my cars stay outside and all my cars get pretty beat up from all the dust, wind, dirt, everything that flies in the sky. Hopefully they have one soon and we'll cop that as well too. But Avant Pro covers will put all their information in the description below. Be sure to check it out. But guys, we're gonna wrap it up for this video right here. I hope you guys enjoyed the progress update on the 88 sedan. A little bit here, a little bit there. You guys know the saying, progress is better than no progress. Hopefully soon we'll do some major upgrade to everything with this car. If you guys enjoyed today's video, be sure to leave a thumbs up. And if you guys want to stick around for more progress update on that car, somebody said to call it just Blade. What do you guys think, huh? Blade? Tin can, tin silver, tingling. If you guys want to stick around for more progress update on this car, be sure to hit the subscribe button. With that being said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys at the next video. Peace.